I was sitting across from this guy, 7-figure business, beautiful brand, team of 12. And he goes, Leo, I spent $40,000 a month on marketing, and I still have to explain what we do on every sales call. $40,000 a month, and people still don't trust him. You know what I told him? You don't have a marketing problem. You have a trust problem, and no ad spend in the world is gonna fix that. He began his podcast 3 months later, cut his ad spend in half. Close rate went up 30%. Not because the podcast was some marketing hack, because for the first time, people heard him think. They heard his story. They trusted him before the sales call even started. That's what we're talking about today. And by 2027, every CEO who gets this will have a show. The ones who don't will be paying for attention their competitors are getting for free. I'm Leo Climaco. Welcome to Brand Revolution, episode 1. Today, why every CEO will have a podcast by 2027 and why the smart ones are starting right now. Let me tell you something that I've learned from producing over 500 podcast episodes for myself and through Forge Studios for our clients. The biggest lie in business right now is that content equals connection. You can post 10 reels a day, have a newsletter with 50,000 subscribers. You can run the most sophisticated ad campaign money can buy, and people still won't trust you. Why? Because none of that shows them who you really actually are. Here's what AI changed. Every company now has access to the same tools. Same writing quality, same video production, same strategic framework. When the output is identical, people don't choose the best product. They choose the person they trust. And trust doesn't come from polished content. Trust comes from conversation, from hearing someone work through a problem in real time, from listening to someone be honest about what they got wrong. I'm a high school dropout, built a $7 million autism therapy business, pivoted into brand strategy, began a podcast production agency. None of that story fits in an actual Instagram caption. But when I tell it on a podcast, when you hear me pause, the emotion, the reason behind every pivot, that's when people lean in. That's when trust starts. But Leo, what about video? What about short form? What about AI generated content? Listen, I'm not anti any of that. As a matter of fact, we use all of that at Forge Studio. But here's the thing no one's talking about. AI can write your blog post. It can edit your video. It can generate your social caption. In 6 months, it will probably clone your voice too, but it cannot have a real conversation. It cannot sit across from another human being and listen to their story and respond with genuine curiosity. It cannot share a moment of vulnerability that makes a stranger think, oh, this is a real person. Conversation is the last human moat. And podcasting is conversation at scale. When you host a podcast, you're doing 3 things at once that no other format gives you. You're demonstrating how you think, not just your conclusion, your actual reasoning. People buy your judgment, not your ideas. 2, you're building relationship with every guest. Every conversation is a real connection with someone in your industry. Your network grows with every episode. 3, you're creating a body of work that compounds. Every episode matters. Episode 1 doesn't expire. Episode 50 makes episode 1 more valuable, not less. No other content format does all 3 simultaneously. None. Here's why I'm saying 2027 specifically. Right now, Dario, CEO of Anthropics, is giving 70 to 80% odds that someone builds a $1 billion company solo by the end of 2026. One person, one AI agent doing all the work. But think about that. But think about what that means for every business. If one person can build a $1 billion company, the barrier isn't execution anymore. It's attention, it's reputation, it's, say it with me, trust. When anyone can build anything, your brand is your business plan. Your reputation is your competitive advantage. And the CEOs who figured this out early, they're already untouchable. Look at the pattern. The founders who win aren't hiding behind their companies. They're out in front. They're having conversations. They're leading people. They're letting people see how they think. The Gary V's, the Alex Hermosis. But here's what most people get wrong. And this is where the Brazilian directness comes in. They think personal brand means posting selfies with motivational quotes. They think it means curating a highlight reel. No, 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 no. Personal brand, real brand, is about substance of how you think and lead. It's about being known for something real, something that came from your experience, your failure, your unique path, not a persona, an identity, and a podcast is the single best vehicle for expressing that identity at scale. Because you can't fake 30 minutes of unscripted conversation. You either have depth or you don't. I'll be real with you. I run Forge Studios. We produce podcasts for entrepreneurs and business leaders. So yeah, I have a stake in the game, but that's exactly why you should listen. I've seen what happens when a CEO commits to their show. I've watched close rates double. I've watched inbound leads come in saying, I feel like I already know you. I've watched partnerships from guest conversations that turned into $1 million deal. And I've seen what happens when leaders wait, when they say, maybe next quarter, when they let their competitor be the one with the show. By the time you need the authority a podcast builds, it's already too late to start building it. This isn't like running an ad campaign where you flip a switch and get results tomorrow. Podcasting is a compounding asset. The ROI comes from consistency over time. My show didn't blow up on episode 1. It built episode after episode, relationships after relationships. And now, 200 episodes in, it's the single most valuable business asset I own. More valuable than my website, more valuable than my social media, more valuable than any ad I've ever run. So here's what I want you to do. Stop thinking about podcasting as a content strategy. Start thinking about it as a trust strategy. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a studio. All you need is a perspective, a microphone, and the courage to share how you think. And if you want help doing it right, that's literally what we do at Forge Studios. We're going deep on the marketing shift that's already happening, and most people haven't noticed yet. Start your show. Not next month, not next quarter, but right now. Because the credibility you'll need in 2027 is built by the work you do in 2026. Let's go. See you next week.